Shalom, Israel. It's Kazawan. And the name of this video is Dealing with Family and Friends Who Reject the Truth. I'm doing this video to address a situation that comes up all the time. Most of us who know that we're Israelites have family members and old friends who are not in the truth, and we have a desire for them to come into the truth, but most of the time, they don't want to hear what we're saying. We tell them that they're the Israelites of the Bible, and they reject it. We tell them about the importance of keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, and they reject that too. So the question is, how do we deal with that? How do we deal with family and old friends who reject the truth? Well, the first thing that we have to be willing to accept is that everybody is not going to wake up. The truth is not for everybody. And that may even include your family and old friends. We got to face that. Look at this. This is Jeremiah 3:14. It says, "Turn, O backsliding children, saith Yahweh, for I am married unto you." Watch this. "And I will take you one of a city and two of a family, and I will bring you to Zion." You see that? See, you might be the only one in your whole city to receive the truth. And out of your whole family, it might just be you and maybe one other person. That might be the case. And if that is the case, you still got to keep going. You can't quit just because you don't have the numbers. See, this is very important because I know some of us are in this very same condition right now, and it seems like nobody else understands the truth. However, Yahushua already told us what this journey would be like. Let's go to Matthew 10:34. Watch this. It says, "Think not that I am come to send peace on earth." So Yahushua said, don't think that he came to bring peace on earth, meaning his message wasn't a do whatever you want kind of message. The truth will always cause people to get upset. It says, "I came not to send peace, but a sword." In other words, the word draws a line in the sand that separates the righteous from the wicked. Verse 35, "For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law." See, that's how real this truth is. Now, this is not talking about dividing families for no reason. This is talking about separating the righteous from the wicked. The Bible says that two cannot walk together except they be agreed. If a father keeps the law, statutes, and commandments, but his son doesn't, they're not in agreement. If a daughter is obedient to the scriptures, but the mother isn't, they're not in agreement. Now, the one in the truth is going to have to stand strong in the truth, knowing that it's going to cause problems. But that's how it goes. Watch this. Verse 36. "And a man's foes shall be they of his own household." So you shouldn't be surprised when your family and friends turn on you. The people that are closest to you are the main ones that'll give you the most problems. You see? But we gotta decide what's more important. Is it our emotional connection to our families, or is it the obedience to the Most High? Let's see what it says. Verse 37. "He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me." Now this is rough, but it's right. Because if you believe that the Most High gave you life, then your allegiance is to him before anybody else, including your mother and your father. A lot of people spend all day and night saying, "Well, what about my mom? What about my dad?" Listen, It's a good thing to love your parents. The scriptures say honor your mother and your father, but you can't put them before the Most High. That's why Mark 12:30 says, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment. So if you don't get the first commandment right, you don't have a shot. See, you got to choose the Most High regardless of what the repercussions are. Yes, you might lose certain family connections. They might say you're in a cult. They might call you the devil and all types of names. But if you choose your family and friends over the Most High, you're not worthy of him anyway. Why? Because the Most High sacrificed his own son, and Yahushua laid down his life for your sake. So if you're not willing to lose out in this world, then you don't understand what this is all about anyway. Look at this. 2 Timothy 3:12. It says, yea, and all that will live godly in Yahushua shall suffer persecution. See, it's not optional. When you come into this truth and you strive for righteousness, persecution on some level is unavoidable. Verse 12 says, yea, and all that will live godly in Yahushua shall suffer persecution. Now, unfortunately, a lot of times that persecution comes from our own families. However, we suffer through it knowing that a greater reward is coming. Let's go to Romans 8:17. It says, and if we are the children of the Most High, it says, then heirs of the Most High. Watch this. And joint heirs with Yahushua. So we are joint heirs with Yahushua, meaning we will rule with him on one condition. It says, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. You see? So we have to suffer with Yahushua through the persecution, which sometimes includes the loss of family and friends. Now, if we suffer through that, we'll be glorified with him at his return. Watch this. Verse 18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. So Paul said, you can't even compare the glory that we'll have in the kingdom with the suffering that we're going through right now. When we get in the kingdom, the hurt from the rejection that you feel now from your family and friends, that won't even matter anymore. We're going to be in a state of peace that we can't even imagine right now. Look at this. This is Matthew 19:27. It says, then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? So Peter wanted to know what his reward would be for following Yahushua. Verse 28. And Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me, in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So Yahushua told Peter, look, when the kingdom of heaven is established on earth, Peter, you're going to be one of the judges of the 12 tribes of Israel. So Peter is going to be highly esteemed in the kingdom. Now, watch this, verse 29. And every one that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. So this is a guaranteed promise by Yahushua. Whatever you lose in this world for the sake of righteousness, you will get 100-fold return in the kingdom. If your obedience to the Most High causes you to lose a father, a mother, a sister, a brother, even a son or a daughter or a close friend, the Most High knows your sacrifice and He will reward you openly and accordingly in the kingdom of heaven. You gotta keep that in your spirit at all times, because that's how you stay strong, by knowing that it's all going to be worth it in the end. Let's go to Hebrews 10:35. Watch this. It says, "Cast not away therefore your confidence, which have great recompense of reward." In other words, stay confident in the promises of the Most High, because that confidence is going to pay off for you in the end. But watch this. Verse 36. "For ye have need of patience, that after ye have done the will of the Most High, ye might receive the promise." So we have to learn to be patient in the midst of the persecution. It seems like it's never going to end, but the Most High is faithful and He keeps His promises. See, when you talk to your family and friends and they reject the message, you have to understand what's actually happening. They're not rejecting you, they're rejecting Yahweh Shai. Let's go back to Matthew 10 and pick it up at verse 40. It says, "He that receiveth you receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me." See, you can't take it personal when people don't listen, because it's not your word, it's the word of the Most High. Now, it is our responsibility to present the word to our families, but it's not our responsibility to make them receive it. You know why? Because you can't make them receive it. See, a lot of us are carrying weights that we shouldn't be carrying. All you can do is give them the information. You can't make them accept it. Even when Yahweh Shai was on earth, He didn't try to force people to believe the word. He presented the word, and if they received it, He gave it to them. But if they rejected it, He moved on to the next person. And that's the same thing that we're supposed to do. Look at this. This is Luke 9:5. It says, "And whosoever will not receive you," whoever does not want to listen to the truth, it says, "when ye go out of that city, shake off the very dust from your feet for a testimony against him." So you got to learn to move on and let the Most High do what He does. You can't wake everybody up through your own will. The Most High has to do it through His Spirit. Sometimes you just got to move on. Now somebody might say, "Yeah, but that's my family though." Again, we understand that we love our natural families, but you have a bigger family than that. Watch this. This is Mark 3:31. It says, "There came then his brethren and his mother, and standing without, sent unto him, calling him. And the multitude sat about him, and they said unto him, Behold, thy mother and thy brethren without seek for thee." So Yahushua was teaching, and his mother and his brothers came looking for him. So the people told him, they said, "Your mother and your brothers is looking for you." Watch this, verse 33. "And he answered them, saying, Who is my mother or my brethren?" Verse 34. "And he looked round about on them which sat about him, and said, Behold my mother and my brethren. For whosoever shall do the will of the Most High, the same is my brother and my sister and mother." So yes, you might have biological family on earth, but your true family is your brothers and sisters in this truth. Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying to completely close the door on your family and old friends. If at any time they come to you sincerely wanting the truth, you should be willing and able to give them the understanding that they need. However, you do not have to keep trying to force them to understand what you're saying when they keep shutting you down every time. Again, you're only responsible for telling them the truth. Once you do that, you're in the clear. Let's go to Ezekiel 3:17. It says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth. Watch this. And give them warning from me. So we do have to warn our people. Verse 18. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way to save his life. In other words, if we know our family and friends are in danger, and we don't warn them, it says, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity. They will suffer the judgment of the Most High. But watch this. It says, but his blood will I require at thine hand. Why? Because we knew danger was coming, but we didn't warn them. Now, this is a struggle that a lot of us have within ourselves. We want to make sure that we warn our people, but watch this. Verse 19. Yet, if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, if we warn them by telling them the truth, and they don't change, it says, he shall die in his iniquity. They will suffer the judgment of the Most High. But watch this. It says, but thou hast delivered thy soul. You see, once you warn people, the Most High will no longer hold you responsible if they don't listen. Once you understand that, it just becomes a mental thing that you have to get over on a personal level. You got to let go and accept the Most High's will. Matthew 22:14 says, for many are called, all Israel is called, according to Isaiah 48:12, but it says, but few are chosen. The Most High has an elect group that's going to receive this word and live by it. And we pray through faith that we're part of that group. But see, you can't make a person be a part of that group. That's up to the Most High. Let's go to John 10:27. It says, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. So Yahushua said his sheep hear his voice, and he knows who they are, and they follow him. Now, that doesn't mean that your family won't wake up at some point before it's too late, because the Most High can wake them up instantly if that be his will. However, if he doesn't wake them up, you got to be willing to accept that. I have to keep stressing that point because a lot of people are struggling with this issue. Let's go to Mark 4:16. It says, and these are they likewise which are sown on stony ground, who when they have heard the word, immediately receive it with gladness. See, a lot of people hear this truth and they find out who they are and they get super excited. That's a good thing. But, verse 17, and have no root in themselves, and so endure but for a time. See, the excitement is good, but you have to have a solid foundation. Or, it says, afterward, when affliction or persecution ariseth for the word's sake, immediately they are offended. When the persecution comes, you're not supposed to lose your zeal. If you do, that's because you have to refocus back on what's most important. If you're not careful, the persecution from your family and friends will cause you to fall out the truth. Don't let anything or anybody, including your family, cause you to fall out the truth. Again, Yahushua told us that there would be divisions among families. So we have to be prepared for that. Let's go to Romans 8:38. It says, for I am persuaded that neither death nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of the Most High, which is in Yahushua our Lord. So Paul said that no situation or any person should be able to separate you from the love of the Most High. That's the mindset we gotta have. There is nothing more valuable than this truth. Nothing. It's very important that we understand that the Most High chooses us. A person can't just decide to be in the truth. That's not how it works. The Most High has to put the Spirit on a person to come into the truth. He chooses us. You got to keep that in mind also. Let's read one more verse. This is John 6:44. It says, "No man can come to me except the Father which hath sent me draw him, and I will raise him up at the last day." See that? Again, the Father has to draw you to the truth. So a lot of times when you're distraught that your family won't listen, your friends won't listen, again, that's because the Most High has to draw them. You can't will somebody into the truth. The Father has to bring them into the truth. So in conclusion, the way that you deal with your family and friends who reject the truth is by being the best example of righteousness that you can be. Show them what it means to truly be spiritual and pray that the Most High puts the Spirit on them to wake up. Now, if for whatever reason they don't wake up, be thankful that He woke you up, because you could have still been asleep also. Always be ready, just in case they do come to you for answers, because until Yahushua actually comes back, there's still a chance that they could get it. However, don't let that consume you, because there's too much work to be done for you to be focused only on your family and friends. It's not just about your immediate family and your friends. It's about the whole nation of Israel. So focus on dealing with your people as a whole and let the Most High do His work. So I'm going to end it right here. Again, I know that this is a serious issue that a lot of us are dealing with, and I hope that this video will help out in some manner. So with that, I say, Shalom.